excited to be here, and I'm going to tell you a short story on postmortems. I'm going to start with a question. How many of you think it's really hard to get people to gather around postmortems and help them contribute to them? See a lot of hands. I think it's extremely hard to get people to think about postmortems all the time that organizations have incidents and that they need to have that in their minds every single time. It's another question. How many of you think that postmortems are actually useful? Wow, that's a lot of people. I think postmortems are one of the most useful tools or processes that can help an organization be more mature, scale, set up a culture of continuous learning, create this environment of being blameless, and simply be a more successful organization. Now, let's simply define what a postmortem is. Post is simply after. After an outage, after a series of HTTP errors on your infrastructure, after a customer reported issue, after anything that can affect the software systems of your company and affects the revenue line. But please don't use the word death. I think mortem, I don't know who came up with that term, but death is a very, very negative word, so I would refrain from using that. Now, how do we improve based on this process? How do we grow the organization? How do we make it easier for teams to follow this? First, I think we can templatize all the sections that need to be in the postmortem and share it across the whole organization. Share it in your town hall meetings. Share it in your all hands. Share it in your brown bag sessions. Put it at the top of the page where everybody comes and sees, oh, that's the template that we need to use for postmortems. And make sure you schedule this 3 days, maybe 5 days, but no later, because people forget, what happens in an incident. And you're not going to get the most value out of it if you wait too long. And make it so that it's a repeatable process. Make it so that in the beginning, it's going to be hard, and you're going to make a lot of mistakes. But as you continually do this, you'll get better and better and better. So it's about practice, practice, and practice. Now, tools are very, very useful when it comes to postmortems. I think of 3 important tools in postmortems. First, you have the collaboration tools that help you take notes, that help you with the template, to share that template. Your Confluence page at the top is bookmarked. Everybody knows where it is. The other set of tools that are really helpful are the incident management and the incident communication tools. They help you see the chronology of the events. They help you see when somebody got notified of an incident. They help you see when the right stakeholders joined the call. And the other set of tools that are really, really important are your observability and monitoring tools. Did we see a spike in the latency of our requests? Did we see a pattern that told us that something much worse is going to happen in the future. Some anomaly or some pattern that helps us be more proactive and be more preventative. Another section that is super helpful is celebrating all your wins. This is where you bring your positive attitude. You talk about teamwork, you'll make people excited. But a lot of organizations focus on, oh, the team collaborated, great. The communication between the different stakeholders was good. But I would advise to go deeper and try to get into the details. Oh, did we miss the right alert that was not in the monitoring tool? And that's going to help us. Oh, but maybe we did have some anomaly detection that allowed us to help, and the problem was much smaller than it would have been. So think about those details that can help teams go deeper in this section. And you also need to have a section of all the different learnings. This is where you set up your culture of continuous learning, continuous improvement. Make it so that it's more about the we as a team, we together, instead of the I or the you. This will help setting up that safe space that everybody talks about of being blameless. Action items are very important too. This is where you execute. You can schedule these after the postmortem meeting. If you have a bi-weekly or every 2-week sprint, put it there, but make sure you track these. Now, what about retrospectives? A lot of organizations interchangeably use retrospective and postmortems. I'd like to think of retrospectives as something where you go back 3 months or 4 months, and you see patterns in your postmortems and incidents. Did it take us to detect longer to detect an incident? Did it take us longer to resolve that incident over time, over all those incidents? Do we see that our SLOs got violated more often? Do we need to change something about them? Are they too strict? So those are some of the things that we can go back and look at in a retrospective. In the end, I think it's about setting up that process of being more repeatable and practicing as an organization, sharing your templates across the whole team. Schedule these postmortems on a consistent basis. Don't forget about them. You'll make a lot of mistakes in the beginning, but the more you do it, the better you'll get at. You'll become, and overall, as an organization. And keep doing it. Keep doing it consistently. Execute on those action items. This will help your organization grow, mature, all the great things about being blameless, and simply be more successful. With that, that's all the time that I have, and I'd love to talk about this topic in more detail. Feel free to reach out. I'd love to talk about any other challenges that you may have. Thank you.